Good evening and welcome. My name is Hannah Stayer and I'm the high school choral director. On behalf of the music department, I would like to thank you for joining us as we celebrate Music in Our Schools Month. I would like to give a special thank you to our York Suburban Music Boosters Association. They do so many things for our students behind the scenes, and you will see the names of people who have donated monetarily in the program, but they also do things like volunteer and support us in many ways that you will not even get to see here at the concert. If you would like to become a YSMBA member, please feel free to talk to any of our music directors or a music student, and they will put you in touch with us, and your name can appear in our next program. Tonight's concert is more than just a performance. It's a celebration of the role music plays in our students' lives and in our community. Music education gives students a space to explore creativity, express emotions, and discover their own voices and instrumental capabilities. It teaches self-discipline, teamwork, and perseverance as students work together to rehearse, improve, and create something meaningful. Through music, students also develop skills that reach far beyond the stage. Research shows that music education strengthens memory, supports language development, and improves problem-solving abilities. Just as importantly, it helps students build confidence and a sense of belonging. When students perform together, they learn to listen, to support one another, and to contribute to something larger than themselves. For many students, the music room or the rehearsal space becomes a place where they feel inspired, challenged, and connected. The lessons learned there, commitment, collaboration, and creativity, stay with them long after the final note is sung or the final note is played. Tonight you will hear the result of many hours of dedication and practice from our talented students. We are proud to share their hard work with you, and we are grateful for the support of families like you, the York Suburban Music Boosters Association, our administrators, and our community members who make music education flourish here at York Suburban. With that, I would like to turn the concert over to be opened by the orchestra under the direction of Mrs. Ashley Thrush. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm Mrs. Thrush, the orchestra director, and I wanted to say a little bit. That piece was probably very, very well known to you. Hopefully you've heard that in your lifetime. That is, of course, by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart from the year 1787. It is traditional that in the March concert, the orchestra uses this time to play classical works. And of course, the term classical is kind of a broad meaning for works that are orchestral usually in nature, but classical is also an era, a specific era. So this was actually from the classical era, usually around the mid-1700s, and now we're gonna move to performing a piece called The Moldau, which is by Bedřich Smetana. Smetana was, this is primarily really nationalistic music, and it just makes you want to love the country that these people are from. This era is romantic era of classical music, and it just pulls at your heartstrings. And this is Smetana's music. The Moldau is highlighting the Vltava river as it courses through his home country, and ultimately with a climax to coming to this castle in Prague. So you can imagine this flowing, ebbing and flowing through the woods, seeing a peasant wedding, and also getting to fireflies and some other things. So ultimately ending at a castle in Prague. So here is Bedřich Smetana's Moldau. that was from the Romantic era, and the last piece for the string ensemble, or the string orchestra today, is we moved to a modern piece created by one of my, if I meet her ever someday, I would fangirl so hard, okay? She is amazing. Her name is Soon-Hee Newbold, and she has amazing compositions. We are playing a very challenging grade level 5 piece called Perseus, and it of course follows the course of the Greek myth where you have Perseus slaying the snake-haired Medusa to rescue the princess Andromeda. So we're going to go through, you'll hear some very spacey sounds, and it'll be really ethereal and sound really cool. So here is Perseus. probably sweating. Thank you so much. So this is the conclusion of the string orchestra. Before we go, I did want to, since we don't have the band on the program, I did want to acknowledge, I had a student, 3 students actually, who went to Region Orchestra, and in fact, they were all brass students, but I do want to acknowledge them here. That was Egan Torres, senior trumpet. We had John Barley, junior trumpet, and Aaron West, sophomore French horn. Actually, Aaron should be here if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations to them for going this past weekend. And if you're wondering why a trumpet goes to orchestra, it's because it's the symphony orchestra. So they placed so well in the top, like 1, 2, 3 of their instrument overall, that they got to come to the orchestra and be represented there. And then Egan Torres, senior trumpet, is moving on to all-state orchestra. So congrats, Egan. So that's amazing. And then at this time, I'm going to dismiss the orchestra. We're going to move to the string ensemble. We have a piece for you. So they're going to shift around and move for string ensemble. But we're moving now to a English folk song suite, which is exactly what it sounds like. Ralph Vaughan Williams in the early 1900s, I believe around 1923. So this satisfies our 1900s era, but we are performing English folk songs that he compiled into a suite that is often played many times for band and also symphony orchestra, but this one is arranged for string ensemble or for strings, and we're playing movement 1 and 3. So this is the English folk song suite, movements 1 and 3. one more thing for you. Last piece. I promised Delilah's going to share a little bit about that while we restructure. And we have one more piece for you, a smaller chamber group still. So give us one moment.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. Our last piece tonight is Allegretto Gracioso, a charming and melodic piece. Enjoy.
We leave you with the choir. Thank you, Ms. Stayer.
While they're coming on behind me, I'm just going to talk really briefly about our first two pieces. The first one is called Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee. The tune is probably a melody that some of you might be familiar with because it's Beethoven's Ode to Joy. This particular song is a gospel song and will feature two soloists, Sarah Dahl, who you may have heard in the musical, as well as Ethan Wolfgang was also in the musical. I also want to recognize Ethan Wolfgang and Ruthie Brown. Did she make it up here yet? Can you wave, Ruthie? Right there. They just went to Region Choir. And then Ethan will also be going to PMEA District Vocal Jazz on Friday. So we have a lot of talent here, and I'm really excited to be able to feature two of our very talented soloists for this song.
Joyful, joy.
end our portion of the concert with two kind of Americana pieces. First one being God Bless America, and then Battle Hymn of the Republic. To continue on in our Music in Our Schools Month concerts, next Tuesday night, March 17th, there will be a combined middle school and high school band concert at the middle school at 7 p.m. If you would like to see all of our band instrumental students perform from middle school through high school. So that'll be a very exciting time under the direction of Mr. Nace and Mr. Hustler. And then at the school board meeting on March 23rd, we will, that Monday evening, we will have a few other smaller music ensembles that will perform to kind of bring a conclusion to Music in Our Schools Month. So we hope you enjoy our final two selections, and thank you for spending your evening with us.
God bless
Thank you once again for spending your evening with us, and we hope you enjoyed a small portion of what we can give back to you as part of Music in Our Schools Month. Thank you.